It's UPBOptionMillionaires.com after the closing bell here on this Monday, February 8, 2016 Market Outlook. Recap here, and you can see the VIX. I bring this up because I talked about the start of this year as this 30 level for the VIX being a cap here, so resistance. And you see we broke above it only once, a real brief on that flash crash back in the summer 2015. But over the last 3 years, every time we hit that 30 level, we've melted back to the 12, 14 level on the VIX. Started to do that. Looked like we were going to start to do that towards the end of January, but now we're starting to work our way back up. Selling pressure has returned at the start of February here, and something to watch for. I think short to medium term, and certainly it's going to have implications longer term, will be a break for the VIX over 30. That is something to watch for, and that's why I bring it up here. Also, crude oil remains one to watch here in 2016. Started to break down in June of 2014. It was at 110. Everybody thought it was going to go to 160. It's done the exact opposite. Pretty stunning reversal of fortune here as, hey, crude oil is turning into technology that we don't use anymore, apparently. But it has been a glut of supply. As crude oil was at 110, everybody decided to figure out how to capitalize upon it. And then we're sitting at 30, and there's no money to be had with crude oil anymore. And if you look shorter term pattern here, you might think, hey, we're setting up for a move to the upside. This is it. We're going to bounce. But if you look here, shorter term head and shoulders pattern here, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, neckline here for crude oil. We did not break below it today, but if we do, that's going to set us up for lows of the year. Possible 12-plus year lows for crude oil. Something to keep an eye on also. Maybe keep a bid under crude oil will be the U.S. dollar index, which I thought was going to break to the upside to start 2016. It's done the exact opposite. And you would think here, as we've started to break down here for the U.S. dollar index, this might be slightly bullish for the stock market. So far, no. But for gold, how about the gold miners? Up over 40% here over the last couple weeks. GDX has been on a tear, so the U.S. dollar index weakening is helping gold miners, gold-related stocks. A little bit of the FCX, Freeport, getting a little bit of a bounce. Not today, though. Not today! Down over 7%, but you can see the move has had off its lows, which is $3.55. I guess the bankruptcy is going to have to be delayed just for a couple more months here for FCX. Being sarcastic there. But we did have a late-day rally for S&P 500 futures. You can see we closed the day down 1.2%. Look at that spike we had late in the trading session. Got us up at least, to levels that weren't so nasty into the closing bell. You can see here off the lows that we saw in the middle of January. That's when we marked the bottom. So is this a higher low here? Are we going to work our way off this level to the upside? A relief rally? Again, watch that 30 level on the VIX. That's going to be something to watch for. Also, look at some of the FANG momentum stocks. FANG is in Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. Google actually closed in positive territory, as did Netflix. Facebook over a key level, and I'm just going to bring those up in a second. So the S&P 500 futures, again, put in a higher low. This is something to watch for. And let's just look at Facebook. You can see Facebook. You follow this trend line. This goes all the way back to its IPO. Just after its IPO, this trend line has worked as a great support line. We came down to it today. Look at that. We're spinning here with this candle. This is a weekly candle. So a lot of room to maybe recover that and get a nice hammer. That'd be a reversal. Hit our record highs. Reverse down to the support line. Something to watch for from a bullish perspective for Facebook. Also, Google. Reclaim the key $700 level as I was talking about. You draw a trend line across here. We're back over 700 for the GOOGL. Let me get it right the second time. All right, Amazon also. You can see it's nearing support. Possible move down to 450, 465 here. Again, indecisive candle. Has been a nasty reversal to the downside. Down over $200 from its all-time record high that it just hit just a couple months ago. So we got to watch Amazon and FANG, but also watch the ETFs. S&P 500, the spiders below. I mean, these charts look nasty now. We're below support there. Look at the NASDAQ, the QQQ. We are in no man's land here. We have supported about 94.50 for QQQ below key support levels, and IWM below the 120, below the 110, below the 100. Found support today at 95. A little bit of a hammer candle here so far, though, for the weekly, but not too overbought, not too oversold. Small caps, watch them closely. Apple, after breaking the head and shoulders pattern, nice little bounce here. Maybe a kiss up at the 100 level. Got some 98 calls earlier in the session for a possible reversal. Was hanging tough. And if you look at the market down over 2.5%, Apple was just kind of teetering around this 94 level. A little bit break down here to the 93.50 late the day before a sharp $2.25 reversal. Looking good here for Apple. That was one of the names. Hey, if you're going to buy something, in this market and go long, buy something that's hanging in there, that's holding on to its gains. We had GDX. We had some of the gold miners, if you want to look. Newmont Mining Corp up 3% today, continuing to rally off its lows. If you look from a long-term chart perspective, wonderful, wonderful move. And if you look this move, possibly topping out the 2750 level for Newmont Mining. A couple other stocks to look at. We had earnings reports leaked from Yelp today. You can see breaking down to new lows is not seen since its IPO. Look at this 10-year chart. It's only been trading a couple, but I'd just like to bring it up for the monthly perspective. Look how many months in a row it's been down. 3 out of the last, 17 months has been negative for Yelp. FEYE reports earnings this week. Look at this one, another one, 8 straight months of declines for FEYE. Former darling, and if you look, it started 2015 off, so promising, hitting 60 and then breaking down. So we'll see earnings report. Is that going to send it to the upside? GoPro was one of the positive stocks, at least for most of the session, was up over 17%. And you can see it. So many months here of declines. Could this be finally reversing to the upside? Something to watch. All right, wanted to make this market video short here so you can get to your dinner, hang out with your family. You can see TLT breaking to the upside. Wonderful breakout. This compression here, prices. And I talked about this at StockTwits, and Twitter posted this chart. The price is compressing here for a big move. And look at that. 2 of the biggest candles that you'll see for the bond ETF, the TLT 20-year bond treasury ETF. And you see the breakout to the upside. Possible double top here at 135 before pulling back. Finally, the VXX. And you can see from a long-term 10-year monthly chart, yeah, it's a dead indicator, though. On a short-term, great perspective where the market's going to head in the short term. You can draw a trend line across here. If we topped out, this goes back to the crash in August 2015. This goes to the start of the year, and here we are again. Here we are again. We go back even further here on the 2-year chart. You can see each of the rips to the upside. You draw a trend line across. There's been a good excuse to buy the market and sell the VIX. But let's look here for a long-term perspective. Yeah, the market's probably heading lower. We're going to break support. Short-term, relieve some of these oversold conditions and maybe sober up some of the bears out there. Get them thinking, hey, the bull market's back. So don't be surprised if we see a counter-trend sharp reversal to the upside before the resumption of this nasty sell-off in 2016 resumes. I'll see you in a new chat room at optionmillionaires.com. Everyone have a good evening. UPB, take care.